Okay, so I'm working on this project at the moment, and I had like an issue where I wanted to have infinite space, or have the impression of infinite space. And what I did is, if I go to the scene here, I'll draw this. What I'll do is I'll pull this all the way out. So I've got these planets all littered around, and the game boundary, if I can, game boundary is very, very, very big. Yeah, this is it. So this is how big the game is, and now how Unity operates or utilizes its physics engine, which is the rigid body 2D component. Every unit is basically, or every square on the grid is effectively a meter square. So this is effectively, this whole area here is pretty much the size of half of Europe. It's at least the height of Germany. It's huge. And what I did is I was going around and I was basically like, I had like I made like a tile palette thing where I effectively had a tile map of just star fields, and it was basically my laptop overheated and nearly blew itself up. So yeah, I had to kind of went back to drawing board basically. And so what I've done is I've actually got, if I go here, zoom out a little bit. Yeah, this is a placeholder artwork. What I've done is I've created a quad. So here is a quad. This utilizes not actually a sprite, it uses a texture. So I've got this space texture here, and it's being put on this quad, and I have got an associated script here, which I cannot remember the name of the YouTuber that I watched in order to get this. But basically what this does is it will actually create a texture which offsets itself depending on the movement. So it has like this nice little parallaxing effect. It still doesn't work 100%, because if I take the player off and make it its own things, it's no longer is it oh, let's just do that. Yeah, so it's no longer a parent of the main camera in the star field. So if I go here and I'll press play, see, it will turn around, and it also has, like, as the longer I apply force, the faster it will go, because obviously inertia. But you kind of want it to you want the camera to follow it, right? The problem is I now have this quad, which is a child of the main camera. And in order for and I couldn't get it to work with Cinema Machine, although maybe I can. I just need to think about it more, because Cinema Machine does a lot of the work for you. So now what I want is, if I make the main camera child of the player and the starfield a child of the main camera, we get this once it loads up. So I can't turn, but it does still work. And now what happens is the texture moves in the opposite direction to the way that the player is facing. Now I'm kind of going this direction, but unfortunately the sprite isn't moving, isn't rotating in that direction, which is a bit annoying. But I can go really fast, and this is infinite now. This whole space is 100% infinite, and the longer I hold down the forward button or the movement buttons, the faster it will get, and it will just go ludicrous. And at some point I need to kind of like get in a system where I can limit the speed, and there's going to be a whole fuel gauge system in place. If I'm lucky, I might actually pass a planet I've put here, so there might be a planet here. So this is the groundwork of something. But like, if I do this and I have this separate, this is what's actually happening. Once it loads up. So the camera, it's kind of like, I don't know if this makes sense, but basically the texture is kind of repeating itself constantly, and this is a lot better than what I had planned to do. So I can like turn this, because obviously the camera is basically filming a texture with the player object, kind of like, oh, there you go, and it's gone now. But yeah, so it's coming together. I've kind of got this whole bit sorted almost. I really need to do some other stuff, so I want to kind of add another transparency, a different star field to give some depth. That's basically what I want to do. And I need to put a fuel gauge in there, so that there's like for the spaceship. And I also need to have a way of having a variable speed system, so I can lock the speed to stop like inertia affecting it as much as it is at the moment. Because at the moment, the longer you hold it down, the longer and the faster you travel for. So yeah, there needs to be some kind of boundary put in place for that. Bit of a long one, but yeah, I'm quite happy with this. This project is going to be a proper game. So it's a collaboration. I know I do make these videos mainly for people on Discord, and like my dad watches them. So you know, for a couple of people on a Discord server, they will know this anyway. But you know, I'm documenting my progress as I have been doing for the past nearly a year now. So it's a bit of a long video. But yeah, I think this is really cool. Like I didn't know anything about quads before, and now I know about quads. Yeah, I quite like. I just think it's pretty cool. I just need to have a way of being able to have the spaceship change direction on the main camera, because you can see here in the scene it does move around, but that's because it's changing the orientation based on the camera, because I'm kind of controlling the camera and the player and the background at the same time. It's weird. This is going on way too long.